Hi, how are you? Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I have a t-shirt here in front of me and my ink mat pretty much all ready to go. Let's see if I can find my video. We are going to make Chris a shirt. So, he may not be my baby daddy, but he is a father figure to my daughter. So, I thought that he would like this shirt. It's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. So we're going to get to it. Okay, let's do this thing. I always love making shirts for him. I really enjoy the fact that Chalk does have some good, masculine men type stuff occasionally. And around Father's Day, they usually come through. So I took off the sticky part off my, ink mat. I'm going to take it and I'm going to stick it into my shirt. Now, this is going to be potentially difficult to do. So, let's see if we can do it. Alright, I'm going to just take it and I'm going to lay it in there. Okay, and then try to straighten my shirt. Now, I don't want to stretch it. So, now I have a wrinkle there. So, let me get that out. I just want to lay it and stick it. Okay, that's it. Now, you can, to make this a little easier, you can cut the ink mat, the 11 by 23 ink mat in half, long ways, or like hamburger. And it'll be perfect size for a t-shirt. But I didn't want to cut this one because I use it for painting sometimes. And it makes it easier for me to be able to use it for painting if I don't cut it. But if you're going to specifically make shirts, then you can totally cut it. Now, I'm going to center this. I'm not even fuzzing this or anything on here. And you can comment dad or father on this post and get the link to the stuff that I'm using to make this. Try and center that right there. And press it down really, really well. Whenever you make a shirt, you do not have to fuzz, okay? Because you don't really want to add any additional lint. Now, it feels like I put my ink mat a little bit too far over. So let me see if I can possibly move it over just a little bit. I screwed this up already. So if I can do this, you can do this, okay? I promise you can. Let's see. All right. There we go. Get all the bubbles out. Hi, Deborah. How are you? I don't think my notification went out tonight, so I don't know what's up with that. Facebook. Be Facebooking is all I can say. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Welcome. All right, so I have this all stuck down now. I have my ink mat moved over a little bit so that I don't go over the edge of the ink mat with my ink. Basically, that's to protect the underside of your shirt. Okay, we're going to use black ink for Chris. And I have a mini squeegee here. Again, you can comment dad on this post and get the link. Now, I'm just going to use a little bit at a time. Okay, I just have a little on there. And we can go slow. We don't have to rush it. Okay, try to use as little ink as possible because ink is a lot more runny than paste is and has the potential to bleed a lot easier than paste. So, nice and slow. Try to keep it all going in one direction. Don't move in different directions. And which is easier said than done. My goodness. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Oh, no. Hi. My thing's responding random stuff. Sorry about that. Anywho, try to keep going in one direction just to help keep from getting the ink underneath your transfer, okay? And ink doesn't dry fast, so you can take your time. You don't have to speed through it. Go really slow. If you don't have a heat press, which we're going to use a heat press tonight, if you don't have one, no worries. You can definitely use just a regular iron and put it on medium-high heat. Get yourself a piece of parchment, put it over the design, and do let it dry for about 24 hours, or like if you did it at night, you can try it the next morning. Put that parchment over it and just put that medium-high iron moving around on the design for about 4 minutes, okay? And you're going to want to turn it inside out and do the inside also, okay, of your project. If you use an iron with the heat press, I don't press the inside. And it works fine. So you'll be heat set. Immediately you can wear or use the item, whatever it is that you've just made, and you can wash it in the washing machine and everything. So like, just like if you were to get a vinyl shirt, any other textile, you can use it the same way. So that's why I love the Art Ink, because it is permanent. And I have shirts that I made when I first started chalk that I still wear. And they're in perfect shape. Okay, the ink looks great. I've washed them tons of times. And it still looks fabulous. So that's the great thing. You can make shirts for anybody. You can make multiples too. These transfers you can use like 8 to 10 times guaranteed. But I have some that I've used a heck of a lot more times than that. If you're making a bunch of shirts with the same design though, I would definitely wash in between, because the ink is permanent. And if you set it back down with ink on it, it's going to get ink all over your project. So go ahead, clean it in between, dry it, and then use it again if you want to make multiples of the same thing, okay? Which I love doing. Like for Christmas, I usually do something for my mom and her sisters. Each of her sisters, sometimes my cousins too, all will get the same gift or a variation of that same gift. And so I like to make something that I can repeat and make multiples of. Okay, so I'm all good here, I think. Now, I'm going to make sure my hands are clean. I don't have any ink on them. And I'm going to start pulling this up. As I pull it up, I'm going to just check and make sure that I'm good. My ink looks great on here. And now I'm going to briefly dry this a little bit with my quick dry tool. Okay, this is not going to dry it. Honestly, I don't even know why I bother, because it's not dry once I do this, but I do it. Okay, so I don't know. You can do it if you want. If you don't, you can skip it. It's not a big deal. I do have my heat pad underneath this so that I don't mess up my glass mat with my heat press. Now, to get my ink mat out, this thing is sticky, sticky, sticky. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to put it under the shirt. And I know you can't really see me, but I'm just taking my fingers and I'm kind of pushing up on the shirt as I go and like pulling it at the same time. Okay, I don't want to have a ton of ink on here. Like, really, that's the other reason that you want to use very little ink. Because you don't want to have like super thick ink where it gets all over the place whenever you go to do this, okay? Now, if you don't feel confident in doing this, you don't have to. You can totally let it dry overnight and then pull it off the ink mat if you want to. Or you can use a piece of parchment in the middle and it works just fine, okay? Alright, now, I'm going to see if I can't, there we go. Now I'm just holding the ink mat with one hand and pulling up with the other, okay? So I'm kind of working, trying to have my hands work together. That's not what it looks like, I know, but now I'm just holding that and pulling the ink mat out, okay? Then I'll set it over there. I do want to keep the plastic that came with my ink mat that goes on the front of it, and I will put that back on there so that it'll protect the sticky, and then it won't stick to everything either. Alright, I have a piece of parchment here. Alright. I'm going to have to probably do this in 2 presses. So I'm going to just take that, I'm going to gently set it. I'm not like pushing on it or anything like that. I'll probably do it in 4 presses actually. So I've got this set on 305, and 30 seconds. So I'm going to press it for 30 seconds. I'll move it over to the right, press it again for another 30 seconds. I'll move the whole thing, the parchment and everything down, do that part for another 30, And then one more time for the final 30. And then it should be heat set entirely. Now you can check it just by touching, making sure that the ink is dry. But after this step, it should be good to go. Okay? So you could literally make a shirt or something and wear it immediately. Now, on your heat press settings, you're going to want to check your material and your press settings. Make sure that you have the right settings. 305 works pretty darn good for me. That is totally heat set and done. Literally nothing on my hands. It's good. Oops. I didn't turn it on. I didn't start the timer, so we'll go like 15 because I probably spoke for 10 or 15 seconds. All right. That's good. And then let me just check and make sure. Yeah, it's totally fine. Then we'll move down here and we'll go right here for 30. And then one more time just to get this last little bit that's hanging off my heat press. It's okay if you press multiple parts multiple times. Like this top part is getting pressed twice. It's not a big deal. Not going to hurt it. As long as you don't have your settings, your heat settings too high, you should be totally fine doing that. And y'all, ink is so easy to use. If you haven't ever used it before, or if you're afraid, don't be afraid. Come and watch some of my tutorials. Super easy to use. And you can make such fun projects. You can do layering projects. You can use multiple transfers. Do all kinds of fun stuff. And make really cute, fun clothes for you, for the kids, for your husband, for pretty much anybody, okay? And they always turn out cute. So make sure you comment dad or father on this post, and you'll get the link to get all the stuff that I use. This transfer is on sale right now too, I believe. So grab it while it's there. I don't know how long it'll last on the website, but it is there right now. All right. That's perfect. Chris loves shirts like this that say funny stuff. He walks around in them and people compliment him. Oh my God, I love that shirt. And then he tells them, oh, well, she made it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I did. All right, y'all. Have a great night. I'll see you later. Love you all.